time here, only your presence. Show us your glory. Speak to us now. Speak to us now. Whoa. Here in this place, we humbly bow. Our hearts are waiting. Speak, Lord. There is no time here. Only your presence. Speak. Show us your glory. Speak to us now. Oh Lord. Speak to us now. Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. More of you. Here in this place, we humbly bow. Our hearts are waiting. Speak to us now. There is no time here, only your presence. Show us your glory. Speak to us now. Speak to us now. Lord, we need to hear a word from you, Jesus. Just one word will do. Speak to us now. Speak to us now. Speak to us now. Breath of God. Breath of God. Breathe on us. Breathe on us, Jesus. Show us your glory. We bow in your presence, Jesus. We kneel before you. We give you all that we have. Lord, we seek your face. We seek your face. We're waiting on you. Marriage isn't always perfect, but healing is always possible. Welcome to Let the Healing Begin with your hosts, Apostles Lee and Kimberly Thomas. This podcast tackles real life issues with raw truth and a powerful his and her perspective. We talk marriage, we talk sex, we talk loss, love, and relational challenges couples don't always say out loud. If you're ready for honest dialogue, faith-filled insight, and a practical wisdom that restores connection and strengthens your marriage, you're in the right place. Come, journey with us as we let the healing begin.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to Let the Healing Begin. We are your hosts, Apostles
Lee.
and Kimberly Thomas. We are so grateful that you have joined us here tonight. We endeavor to give you an open, honest conversation dealing with marriage and all the things that it encompasses. As a disclaimer, we do not claim to have mastered this thing called marriage, nor do we have the monopoly on marriage. But one thing that we do have is we have a marriage, we have experience, and we have time. And most of all, we have a mandate from the Lord to share what we have endeavored and what we have noticed in marriages through our journey as a married couple and as those that counsel those who are preparing for marriage and who are married. So, tonight we are here to let the healing begin. So, we're going to get started tonight. If you joined us last week, one of the things that we talked about last week was the fact that marriage is not attacked from the outside first, it comes from within. And it happens because of weakened um, avoidance weakens our marriages because we do not want to confront matters. So anytime we avoid being healed, it weakens the marriage. So just know that marriages aren't attacked first from the outside, they come from within. Attacks come from within. So we're going to get started tonight. We're going to jump back in. Last week we talked about this. We talked about the fact that there are so many different things, so many different aspects to this, the unresolved conflicts, the unresolved hurts. We talked about unmet needs. We talked about a lot of stuff last week. So we're going to get back into this because this was truly a hot topic and we are going to get started tonight. We are going to jump in and talk about the fact that there is instability in some of our marriages because of failure to express our feelings.
Oh, yes. It's a lot of failure because we tend to hold on to what we think will destroy what we're trying to build. And that's the beginning of the end of a relationship. And it starts killing the healing. Because when we enter into a relationship, we should be wholeheartedly 100% truthful. And if you're going to be truthful, first of all, first and foremost, you should be truthful to yourself. Because if you start off telling a lie, you're going to have to continue telling lies. You know, you can't start a relationship thinking that, well, I better not say this because I don't want them to feel this way or that way.
Yeah.
And in essence, if they don't know, you're lying, you're cheating, and you're holding back and you're not being fair to them or yourself.
Yes, that is so true. Because one of the things that I have noticed is the fact that many times we assume that our partners know our true feeling. They know how we feel, they know what's going on with us. We even assume that they know us. But the real deal, the nitty-gritty, the hard truth, the naked truth is they don't. They don't. And the reason why is because we never took the time when we were dating or getting together to really get to know each other. We just wanted to get right down to business and get busy with it. And there was no conversation. There was no conversation. And so it takes communication. And many times in our relationships, starting out in relationships, people fail to communicate. They fail to communicate because, they're looking at the fact that, you may be a 3B. You got breast, booty, and brains. And that's all they thinking about. They're not thinking about anything else. That's it. It's no communication. It's just like, okay, here we are. Let's hook up. And for a lot of people right now, just talking to young people right now, a lot of people are not even into relationships. They're not into that. They just want to hook up. And so there's definitely no communication in there.
Well, I mean, I've talked to several young men, and it's hit it and quit it. But when I spoke to the young women, it was the same thing. I see what I like, I'm gonna get what I want, and then after that, I'm gonna ghost you. And I was like,
Wow.
"You gonna ghost them? What you mean? Oh, I'm done with that." So it's not like when we started out. The man chased the woman, if she wanted to be chased, she just dropped a nugget here and there. Now it's just like, what's up? We doing this. It's over with. I'm gonna holler at you. Oh, and then tell you, boy, I want to get at it. And I was like, really kind of floored for a minute, but I had to really listen to what they had to say because they were being real and how they feel and the things that they have seen throughout their life, their short life, I should say, of coming into what you call adulthood. And when I spoke to them on the level as to where I was at, they was like, "Well, you old though." And I said, "Hey, oh, okay. So therefore, every day you're not getting older, but yet when you get older, you don't have a man your age. You want a man my age because now you're looking for stability.
Right. A sugar daddy.
That's it, right there.
A
That
sugar
a
daddy.
sugar daddy.
And that's something, there are a lot. of those that are happening. But the thing is, we are missing the Titus 2 women.
Yes.
We're missing the women that teach, how to be chastened and how to really keep yourself so that you would be fit for the king that God has for you. The Bible tells us that he who findeth the wife
Findeth
findeth
a
a good
good
thing
thing
and
and obtain
obtains
favor.
favor with the Lord. So it's not about running behind anybody or chasing anybody, but I heard uh, a wise woman, and I'm gonna say wise because she is very wise in her years. And there was one thing that she told me about some things that, some women, they're looking for a fireman. And I was like, a fireman. I was kind of lost, y'all. Sometimes I'm just sometimes my age show up. I may not look it, but it shows up because when they say certain things, I'm like, what does that mean? But she went on to explain to me that many women are not looking for commitment. They're not looking to settle down. They just want a fireman. They want somebody to put the fire out and be on his way. And so that's what we have to understand. We're missing a lot of the older women that were there to teach us, to teach my generation. We're missing those because when you look at the family dynamic, you're looking at grandmas who are maybe 30 years old. Maybe. Then you're looking at great grandmas that may be 45. So it's starting out younger, and we're missing those wise women. We're missing those Titus 2 women, the women that would tell a young girl, look, you don't wear a white dress without having a slip on. Those type of women. You don't chase a man, you let a man chase you. Those things.
Now, when you said something about that slip, I heard one time you were asked,
Yeah. What's that?
"What's that?" And I'm looking like you don't know what a slip is, but hey, the day and times, because a lot of times our children or our youth are being taught about the things in which they see.
Mhm.
I was watching television the other day, and there was a man and a woman on there, and she really wanted to get with the guy, but she wanted to make sure her deodorant was straight. She said, "I got to put this on so maybe I can hook that baddie over there." So she bought him a drink. So you going after him? I'm like, oh, they done got the game
Right.
twisted. It's all
Right.
backwards.
Right.
But enough of that. We know about that crazy. Let's talk about healing for us senior citizens. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we at right now. You can put your comments in, but what I'm saying is simply this right here. What about some of the men that's been out there and they chased a woman and they had women to chase them, and you know for a fact that she want to be with you, so you like a vacuum cleaner, you sucking her dry for everything you can get so you can get with this other one that really don't really want you because she's sucking you dry to get everything she can get out of you so she can get with him. Let's talk about that right there.
There's a lot of that happening. And one of the things that I really think is there is a lot of instability in relationships because you see the outer appearance. Many people, and it comes from lack of communication, because you'll look at an outer appearance of someone and you will misjudge them because the package is not wrapped pretty, and it doesn't have this glittery wrapping paper. The bow's not tied correctly. It may be a little shabby tie bow, look like somebody just learning how to tie their shoes or something, and you will dismiss it. Many people that know us have heard our story of how when Apostle first began to pursue me, I was managing a convenience store, and he would come in, and the work that he did, he would always be dirty. And just talking, and I'm looking like, this dirty old man, what? go on. And and he said to me one day, he was like, "Do you know who you're looking at?" And I'm like, no. And he said, "Girl, you looking at your husband?" I'm like, "What? Whatever, Mister. Go ahead with your dirty self, because I'm not on that." But that's what we do. We don't realize that God has someone for us because we come with our unrealistic
Oh, well, now.
expectations of what the man should look like. We want it all together. He needs to be tall, he needs to be handsome, he got to be buff, he got to be bow-legged, he got to be this, he got to be that. We put all of these stipulations and these false realities out here, and then when God has sent the one that he has already ordained for us, we dismiss it because it does not look like what our perception says that it should look like. We're not even trying to have a conversation. We're not trying to have no conversation. We're not trying to give you no kind of indication, none whatsoever, bruh. No, you are not the one. And I'm not going to stand here and try to hold a conversation. What's your name? You can't even get my name.
So, in other words, again, you're lying to yourself
Exactly.
because you want Mr. Look so good, smell so nice, and on a scale from 1 to 10, he hitting the whole 15.
Zero.
And then that's only in your mindset. And he got a whole zero going on. Now here's a man, job, car, established, a home, stability. But because he does this type of work, that's not for you. But what happens when you get with this man and you find out it's the total opposite of what you thought?
Sometimes you don't find out because you never give it a chance. Sometimes you miss the opportunity and you see him on the love boat with somebody else, and you be looking like, well, dog, and then you want to give him the time of day because now you looking like, oh, bro, he tight work, he clean up well, but now he's moved on. And so this is the thing. This is where communication comes in. And what we have to understand is, as Apostle said, we got to first be true to ourselves, because we may not be all of that. We may not look like all of that. And so we want to put all these great expectations on somebody else, but then we're not even thinking about, our own perception. We're not thinking about, how we are portraying ourselves. Sometimes we can be the prettiest thing in the whole room, but really be the ugliest because of our attitude and our disposition.
Okay, I'm glad you went there because here's the thing. You want all those things, all these attributes, but are you willing to give those same attributes? That's where I'm at with it. Okay, you want all that. I can supply all that. But why do I have to bend over backwards to do it? And then once I do this, why is there no reciprocation?
Well,
Choke?
no. And okay, let me deal with it this way.
Yeah, let's do this.
Because there are a lot of women who are in marriages, and when the man is providing and doing all these things, that is the expectation of that woman. The expectation is, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do all of these things. And when time comes, and something changes, life starts lifing, and things begin to change, and he may not any longer be able to do those things, then there becomes a problem. There becomes a problem because now you want to throw it out here that you're the head. You're supposed to be the provider. You're supposed to take care of me. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to work. You're the provider. But what we fail to realize is, as you said, where's the reciprocation? Reciprocation comes from help meet. the one that God created the woman to be, the
Well,
help meet. That means that I'm supposed to help meet the spiritual, the emotional,
yeah.
and the physical
Uh-huh.
need of the one that God has given unto me. I am the help meet. So therefore, what you are given to me, I'm supposed to be able to meet your needs in those areas. But so many times those needs are left unmet because of our unrealistic expectations. Some women want to be able to sit home and do nothing, do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and however long they want to do it. Some women want to be taken care of fully. They don't want to have to work. They don't want to have to do anything. They want a maid. They want all of these things. But then there are those that are willing to get up and help. Because when you are sitting and you're expecting the head to be able to handle all of these things, and when the load gets heavy and the ship begins to rock or teeter, if you don't help, we all falling out.
Mm-hmm.
We all going overboard.
Okay.
So we got to hold it down.
Right. Okay. Now in that, because I got some questions in that. So now that he's meeting the needs and he's doing all these things, why is there rejection in the bedroom? Like that's the if you don't do this, you definitely ain't getting that. Deal with that.
Okay. Women use sex
Uh-huh.
as a bargaining chip a lot of times.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like you said, if you don't do this, then you don't do that. We're not doing this. We're not going to do this if you're not doing that. So if you're not able to bring the money, put the money here on the table, whatever, if you're not able to do all of this, if you're not able to, allow me to shop at Neiman Marcus anymore, I can't do that. I can't drive the Benz no more. We had to let the Benz go. I'm still driving, but it's just not a Benz. So, if we can't do all of that, then no, the bedroom action is that's just that goes down. But see, that is you that really okay. Let me just be real because I'm like tap. I'm tiptoeing and
No,
tapping
we
around
it
it.
said
No, no,
let
no.
the healing
I'm
begin.
tiptoeing, tapping around what I really want to say because I'm trying to say it in a nice way. But when you utilize sex in turn for anything, that's called prostitution,
Mm.
whether you're in a marriage or not. So therefore, if the man cannot come in there and lay the money on the table and the sex is off limits, that's what prostitutes do. If the John ain't giving up no money, he not getting no honey. So that's the same thing, and we have to just call it what it is, whether it's in marriage or whether it's on the street. That's what it is when you're using sex as a bargaining chip. That's not how marriage is designed. First of all, if you really want to know how marriage is designed, that when you become one with your spouse, whether husband or wife, you belong to them. All of you. All of you belong to them. The Bible tells us that we should not give a foothold to the devil. And that's why so many marriages are messed up, because we don't have sense enough to understand that sex is not a bargaining chip. Because you know what? If you don't do it, because he's not able to do all of these things, baby, let me tell you something. I bet you there's somebody out there that's waiting, and he ain't gonna have to do nothing but
Trust me.
show up.
That's it.
But show up. That's it. Betty Wright say, we're not leaving no room for
For
the
the
cleanup
cleanup
woman.
woman.
I'm sorry. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. And if you have to hold it down in your household, that ain't nobody's business. That ain't nobody's business. Girlfriend, your BFF, your bestie, or whatever. That's nobody's business. Because you know what? You may be mad with him today, and y'all make up tonight, but you done told bestie, BFF, and girlfriend all your business, and now she mad. She beat you getting mad because you was mad because what he wasn't doing, and she giving advice and she doing all these things. But when you and your husband get back together and y'all on good terms, bestie still looking cockeyed at him
And crazy.
because of the simple fact that, oh yeah, I know. You never give anybody any ammunition against your mate. It's something that Apostle always says, that I'll never give anybody anything to wash my wife's face with. And that's the same thing that women should be saying about their husbands. I will never give anybody anything to wash his face with. I will never make him feel that he is less than a man, regardless of what he can or cannot do. We can't do that. We can't. And let me do this, because this is just here right now, because of the simple fact that we're talking about the fact of how marriage is, and how sex relates to marriage biblically. The only time that you should refrain from giving yourself to your spouse, husband or wife, is if you have an understanding and you're fasting.
Hmm. So we have to have that communication like that.
Otherwise, you don't give the devil a foothold.
You're not supposed to, but we
Right.
oftentimes hear that it happens, and that's not biblical. But at the same time, that's not letting the healing begin, especially when you want all these different things out of a relationship, and you're not giving all of you in the relationship.
Right.
So we've covered the tit for tat far as sex goes, but how do you get to the point of actually just telling the whole truth? When do you get there? Because some people are ashamed to tell the truth. Because I know when I was with her or with him before you, he acted this way. When I said this, he did that. When she said that, I did this. He looked at me this way. And the first thing you do, you look at like, oh, I'm not going through that no more. I'm not having that. Now it makes one or the other shut down, and you got that duh moment because I love you. I don't want to lose you, but I really want you to know this. And I'm hoping and praying that you catch hold to the vision, and you don't.
It takes communication. And really, we have to think about everything that we bring
The baggage.
into our relationships and into our marriages. And most of all, the inability to trust. That's a big part of it, because you come in, and as you stated, you come in and you're still over here with this person because you have not fully dropped them. You're still carrying them. So anything that looks remotely like what they did to you, now your new partner is paying for that.
Correct.
And that's not fair. It's not fair to them to have to pay for something that they did not do. And this is the thing. And this is where it's really, it makes you really think about it. This new thing that everybody, well, I'm not gonna say everybody because I wouldn't do this, but the thing that so many people that are coupled up are doing, this tracking business. What the
Oh,
devil? If I got to track you, baby, you keep trucking, because I'm not tracking nobody. Why are you tracking people? That means that there's a problem with you. It's not a problem with them. There's a problem with you. You have a trust issue, and then you need to be delivered, and you really need to be healed. Because if you got to track somebody that you would say that you're in a relationship with or you in a marriage with, you tracking them for one or two reasons. You're
Insecurity.
insecure, or you tracking them to keep them from catching you.
Correct. And that's the whole thing. I was talking to another individual, and they asked me, and it was kind of funny at first until I saw that they were
It's
really
not.
serious because
It's
it's
not
not
funny.
funny.
It's not funny.
He say, "Hey man," I said, "Yeah, you know how to get this tracker off my phone?" I said, "Do what?" He said, "Yeah, everywhere I go, they know where I'm at, what I'm doing, and sometimes they can tell me my conversation." I said, "Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not that savvy with no phone far as no tracking because that's nothing that I do, and that's nothing that's being done to me." I said, "So what you need to do is leave your phone home or give it back to them because there's no trust in the relationship. Because if they have to track you, bruh, either you doing something or done something that she feels that she can't trust you. And if she can't trust you, you don't need to be with her. And she
Exactly.
don't need to be with you. Or she's covering herself so she'll know exactly where you're at." He said, "I never thought about it." I said, "I always play it 50-50 because it's your side, it's her side, and then there's the truth. So therefore, if you constantly arguing every day about this type of situation, where you at, how long you gonna be there, where you going, no, come on now. No, we ain't got to do that, especially I'm over 12 and I'm past 21. So
Right.
I'm fully grown.
Hmm.
So what we have to do is learn to love each other and trust one another until I have to take you at your word until you show me differently.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and he took me with him, and when I knew anything, y'all, we all three was together, and I had to take them back where we had been together. I said,
That's,
"Good Jesus."
that's foolishness.
I told him, I said, and he say, "Y'all," I said, "Hold up. I'm not him, not your husband either. I wouldn't have you here. Because that's not being a man to me. You got trust issues, and he do too, evidently, because he got to prove that to you. So
Yeah.
therefore, you ain't grown. You a puppet. And it's not about that. Let's get together and just listen. I, it's got to be a simple divide sometime. Let me miss you a little bit. I'll be glad to come home because I've been in situations where when I got off work, I looked at the clock and I was like, whoa, man, if I go home now, they're gonna be there. Either I will get off 45 minutes to an hour early, so I get me a shower and be gone. That's a miserable, miserable, miserable life. Or I just didn't come home till I figure, well, they sleep now. Lord, I tell all of you out there, don't live like that because it's not good. Learn to love yourself better. Tell yourself the truth. Look, it's gonna be this is what I'm with, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And we can go from there and trust and believe. If they don't hear you or don't want to take it, you grown. Get you somewhere to be.
Yes.
Because healing starts with loving yourself first.
Mm. Yes.
Telling yourself the truth first. Baby, look, I like this, and this is what I used to do, and this is what I was into. And if she loves you, she gonna say, okay, well, I ain't into that, but this is what we need to do because this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And then here's the thing: you got to trust them enough to know that it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Because relationships are give and take. Guess what? Now it ain't always 50-50.
Right.
Because I had some friends tell me, say, well, I'm not doing it. I'm the head. I said, well, it's a natural order to things. There's God, Jesus, man, then woman. But you know what? We in today's society, and simply because you're the head, you don't always lead. Because sometimes your helpmeet can get where you can't get. And if you trust her and she trusts you, she can go and open the door for you. But you got to have that oneness, not that dividedness.
Yes. And that is so true. Just thinking about the fact that so many people in relationships, they have no communication. There's no conversation. They don't even know what each other like. They don't know what the person's favorite color
Color is
is. They don't know what the person likes. They don't know what's their favorite food, what's their favorite place. Do they like outside activities, or are they a homebody? They don't know nothing. All they know is let's go have sex. And that's
They
not
don't know that
it.
either, because don't
Well,
touch me like that. That's
well,
all that.
yeah, some of that, but they don't take the time to really get to know
Know
each
each other.
other. You there used to be a thing that was called courting, you know, or like the young people used to say back in my day, do we go together? Do you you know the little thing they used to make with the paper, will you go with me, yes or no? You know, none of that is happening anymore. It's just, and it's not that even people are no longer, they're no longer drawn to a person's intellect, or the fact that they even have anything up here. They're not drawn to that. They're drawn to appearances. They're drawn to their bodies. That's all that they're drawn to. You're not drawn to anything. You don't know whether a person is an airhead. You don't know whether they even can put a sentence together. You don't know any of that. And a lot of times they're not even concerned about it. They're not. They're not concerned about it. All they're concerned about is meeting a physical need. They're looking for a fireman or a firewoman. And baby, hey, once the fire is out, we good. We don't even have to talk no more. That's crazy to me. That's
Well,
crazy.
you got to think now. Speaking from a man's point of view, now, I was one of them airheads. If she had them nice biscuits and some nice perkies, baby, let me holler at you. But then, in the midst of all of that, I began to have a conversation, and the look didn't go with the body. And I found out later in life, you can find some people with all mind and no behind. Then you can get some with all behind and no mind. It's very rare that you get both in the same package. And most of the time when you do, you mess up being a man, because this here is just too good to be true. But as I got older, I realized I needed both of them, because they go hand in hand. Because if you got all behind and no mind, after the relationship in the room is over with, where we go from here?
Right.
Now, if you got all mind and no behind, you may be a little swifter than I am, and it's all over with for me, because I can't keep up. You see, so we got to get this oneness together. But if it's real for real, then I can help you, you can help me, and we keep each other sharp and in tune.
Amen. Y'all, we got to take a commercial break. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back, because this is really getting good and gooder. And and so we trying to unpack it tonight. We bring so much into relationships, and these are just real raw truths that people don't want to talk about. But we're here for it. All right, we'll be back in just a few moments. y'all, we back. Hey, hey. So listen, we're really trying to unpack this and we want to hear from y'all. Y'all put some comments out there. Some of the things that I know we're not the only people that have noticed these things in relationships and in marriages, and these are some of the things that are going on. And like I said before the break, this is stuff that people don't want to talk about. Especially church people don't want to talk about stuff like this,
Oh
but
no.
this is what is really needed, because we have to train up the younger generation, because the way that they are going now and the things that we are allowing to teach them, which is social media, which is you give your kid a phone at a very early age, or a tablet or whatever, just to get out the way so that you can do what you need to do. But we still need those Titus 2 women to step up to the plate. We need the men of valor to show these men, what it really is. And so this is the thing. We have to really think about the fact that sometimes we feel that we are unheard and unvalued in relationships.
That's right.
And so that shuts down a lot of communication, because I may try to tell you how I feel, or I may try to tell you something that I'm dealing with, but you know me to be the strong one. Oh, you strong. You kind of brush it off, but you have to understand that we all have our moments.
But even in your moments, you have to realize something, men and women. You have to still play to your strength. When I was pursuing you, you stood on solid ground. You didn't allow yourself to curve in and just bow down because you know that's my man or that's my woman. No, let's have a conversation. See, because when you let your guards down too far, then you start to be treated that way. People treat you how you allow them to treat you.
Yeah.
Now, we started off talking and you had time to talk to me. You had time to spend time with me. You were concerned about my feelings, not my panties or my drawers. Then we were good. But after you received what you were looking for, then that became null and void. But that was simply because you allowed yourself to fall into that category.
Mm.
See, I always wanted to talk. I always wanted to be with you. But whenever you stop allowing yourself to be wanted or needed, then you know what? Then I'm going somewhere else because you're not showing me that same interest.
Wow. That's something. You you said a whole lot right then, because one thing that is very true is the fact that when we are getting together,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to show that side of us, that independence, that strong will, and all of that. But then there comes points in our life where once we have kind of gotten in there, or we feel like, we got it on lock, we've locked this down. Now we step back and we begin to digress instead of progressing. And so we allow ourselves to lose ourselves.
Correct. And that's not his fault. That's not her fault. That's your fault as an individual. Because I was with a guy and we talked. And he was truly upset because his female friend told him he couldn't go get in the bed. I said, okay. He said, I don't believe that. Because my other girl, it was cool. I said, but see, that's the difference between a girl and a woman. Because she had boundaries. Now you done been to work all day long, you done sat over there and ate. There's a bathroom in there. Go take a bath. Don't just go fall in my bed. I said, but the other one allowed it. That the difference in the caliber of woman, because you know what? You ain't gonna be getting your little dirty behind in my bed. I said, you
You're
gotta
not
think
at
about
all.
that. Come on, bruh. Give what you want. You want her to smell nice and look so pretty and so good, and then yeah, she came in and smelling like a buck barrel. Oh my Jesus! Wait a minute, baby, hold up. I said that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Give what you want. And then if she allowed you to do that, now if y'all was married, that's one thing. You tired? I said, but you know what? Even in your tiredness, no, Go get you a bath, get yourself together, because there will be no way that you would do these things when you first met her. I don't care how tired you was. You wouldn't got fresh. If I sat there on your couch, talked to you and went to sleep, but I was good. Don't allow your standards to go down.
Yes.
Because if that's what happens, and then all of a sudden you start to see somebody else where he clean up, y'all work together, then why you ain't do it? So it's you.
Right.
You have to demand your respect. Because if you give it away, listen, God gives you everything you need. God gives you your gift. And you only can give it away.
Yes. And the thing that we have to realize is that we are two that became one, but we're still individuals.
Yes.
We still have our feelings, we still have our independent desires, we still have our independent likes and dislikes. So you got to think about it. There are things that you like that your spouse does not like. And a lot of times what really begins to deteriorate marriages. Now, remember, we're talking about the fact that the attack does not come from the outside, it comes
Correct.
from
The
the inside.
inside.
And so, what really begins to deteriorate that is because you become a yes partner and you continue to want to go along to get along. Sometimes you just have to say no. He like Vienna sausage. I don't
Yeah.
eat that. No, I don't want that. No. He'll eat peanut butter and jelly. I don't want that. I don't want chicken every day. I don't want that.
I like the cluck cluck now.
And
I
so
like the cluck cluck.
you have to understand that you have a voice. You have a voice and you don't have to go along to get along. But the thing is you don't have to be domineering and nasty, but you can just say, listen, I don't like that. He may like to watch things on television that I don't like. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. And you have to learn how to compromise, how to come together. Find something that you both like to do together and do that. And then in your time apart, do the things that you like to do as an individual. You cannot be a clone to your mate. You are not a clone. You're not Siamese twins. You have a different opinion of things. You're not always gonna see things eye to eye. So you can't always be yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no,
That's good.
no.
Because here's the thing, it's okay to be apart.
Yes.
We're one, but we can do things differently. It's okay. How many times have you actually said, and you might have said it and didn't think about what you were saying, but you said, if I gotta go, I go by myself. And then the moment that you have to go by yourself, you mad all by yourself, and you mad at your mate because they didn't go. Yeah, we together 99% of the time, but today I don't want to go. And don't get mad because I decided to say I don't want to go. I don't want to go over there.
Right.
Today I want to lay right there on the couch and just chill. You go ahead. And then, well, why? Don't say why. If I told you no, it's just no.
Right.
Don't try to force me to do something that I don't want to do. And then when I get into it with you, now I'm looking like a sourpuss because I really don't want to be here. And then look how you was looking. You made me feel some type. No, you made you feel some kind of way because you forced me to go. But at the same time, I allowed this to happen because I could have just said no. Now if you're mad, you're just mad. But then ask yourself, really, why are you mad? We're not Siamese twins. I'm right here.
Right.
I didn't want to go there from the get go one. You knew this. So why force this on me? But at the same time now, don't start one thing and then all of a sudden you want to get out of it now.
Right.
Because the same thing it took to get them, that's what it takes to keep them. So if you don't like going these places and you just doing it to be with them, don't do it because that's what they're looking for. So therefore, at the beginning of the situation, you done told a lie.
Wow. Wow. Hey y'all. Remember, truth is number one. Truth is the key. Open, honesty, real is what it takes. You have to to be mature enough to have conversations. If you do, it will destroy the house. And want to learn how to let the healing begin from the end. We'll be back on the third Sunday in this month. So come back and join us. The third Sunday, I believe the date is
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
the third Sunday in this month. I think it is the 15th. I think that is the date, March the 15th. We will be back. And we hope that something that we have said here tonight will help you on your journey as you begin to let the healing begin. So, we want to say thank you for joining us. And once again, we look forward to hearing from you. Please send us your comments, send us your feedback. We would love to hear from you. And we want you to come back and join us as we let the
The
healing
healing
begin.
began.
Have a great night, everybody. And we will see you later this month.
I tried to find a date, y'all.